Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7 as I continue my coverage of update 1.31. Big thank you goes to GT Planet who updated their list very quickly. So we have a brand new engine swap entirely thanks to the car that you're seeing in the background, which is the Nissan Skyline Super Silhouette, which has the LZ20B Skyline engine in it. This is a brand new swap for update 1.31. It's not been in the game at all before now. It actually goes in 3 separate Nissan cars, which is quite interesting. In fact, most of these swaps actually belong in Nissans, whether they're kind of from a different manufacturer or not. So all 5 engine swaps actually go in new Nissan cars. So let's have a look what the new Skyline engine goes in from the Super Silhouette. The first car that it goes in is the GReddy Fugu Z, which is a SEMA show car. It's a pretty legendary car in terms of Gran Turismo 7. It's one that I massively love and really enjoy. Bit kind of underrated if you've never actually tried it, but you can get some fantastic builds going with this one. And I honestly think putting a Super Silhouette engine in this car will be probably a good thing more than anything. You know, it's not going to be ridiculous in terms of how it puts its power down or anything stupid like that. So this could be a very good swap. The next car it goes in is the Nissan Skyline KPGC 110 or the Kenmeri Skyline. In all honesty, I definitely wouldn't put the engine in this car. I found that through kind of, you know, over the time of testing it and trying to get it kind of, you know, nailed down in terms of how it handles its power. It's just not one that handles a, you know, an absolute ton of power very well. It's very skittish. It will slide around at the back and just spin itself around a lot. So yeah, I'd probably say avoid putting the Super Silhouette engine in this one. And obviously that leaves one more car that the Super Silhouette engine can go in, and that is going to be the Nissan Skyline KPG C10 or the Hakosuka Skyline. This is going to be a fantastic little engine swap if you can get it in. In all honesty, I feel like this is a fantastic car. I reviewed it quite recently, and in terms of the way it handles its power, it's not too brutish. So I could honestly see this one being a very good swap for this engine. If I had to recommend a single one of these cars to put the engine in, if you do get it, I would definitely say go for the Fugu Z, mainly because I feel like it definitely handles higher horsepower much better than the others. So let's move on to another engine swap. So this one has been around for a while now. This is the LS7 Rampage engine, and in fact, it's getting 2 engines in as many updates. So it actually went in the, I believe, the modified RX-7 that we have in the game. In the previous update, which I actually put it in, and it was a fantastic swap, to be quite honest. I basically made a full drift car out of this one, and now it is getting a brand new engine swap entirely for update 1.31. Again, Polyphony seem to be sticking with the Nissan theme for this entire bunch of engine swaps. All 5 of them going in those Nissan cars. So yeah, a bit kind of strange that they're just focusing purely on those cars, but the LS7 now goes in a Nissan car, and that is going to be one of the older generations of Fairlady cars. So the engine swap goes in the Nissan Fairlady 240ZG. Now, I'm not too sure how this car would handle its power in terms of putting an LS7 in it. I'd probably say it would be quite a reasonable swap until you start putting ridiculous amount of upgrades on that engine whilst it's in the Fairlady. In all honesty, I couldn't see this one being too good, maybe a little bit too brutish at the rear. However, I could be pleasantly surprised and actually say that, you know, the opposite could happen. You know, you could get a very good build going with a high power LS7 from the Rampage in this thing. Next up, we have another car that has a new swap. This is the SR20 DET from the Silvia S15, and one of the more modest and original actual engine swaps. It's been around for the longest time. There's probably a ton of people sat there with hundreds of these things in their swaps. Certainly for me, I have a few of these lying around. I haven't actually gone and done the swap myself yet. I just haven't got around to it. But yeah, again, this is going to be another Nissan to Nissan swap. Bit more modest in terms of the power. So the SR20 is a 2-litre engine. So it's not going to be too brutish. And in all honesty, I could see this being a fairly decent swap and a car that you can kind of basically transform into a kind of more modern touring car, which is going to be the Nissan Fairlady Z432. Now, this is a car that I actually really like. I've noticed that overall, in terms of putting power through it, it's rather not too bad. Some of these cars you put swaps in or you start putting horsepower through and they like to kick the rear end out and throw you in the barrier. But I've never really found that with this car. However, putting that SR20 in it would definitely be something that could make it into, like I said, pretty much a full-blown, more modern, up-to-date touring car. Especially if you like to race these classic cars, I could certainly see in this be a good swap. So there you go, that is your new engine swaps for update 1.31. Definitely very Nissan themed in terms of, you know, pretty much every car in this list is a Nissan car in some shape or form. Overall, I haven't got the new engine, so let me know if you do get it and what it's like and which one of the 3 cars that you actually chose to put it in. I'm going to probably swap the SR20 into the Z car definitely at some point, probably today or tomorrow, and I'll kind of, you know, update you in the comments on what I think about it. Hopefully it will be exactly like I think it's going to be, but you just never know with GT7. So there we go, the engine swap list continues to grow, and yet again Polyphony haven't made them buyable. I certainly think they need to move away from the RNG of the engine swaps in tickets and such, or, you know, kind of just set tickets, mainly because the list is just growing too long now at this point. There's a lot of swaps. It's grown by, on average, about 3 to 5 swaps per update. The list is getting bigger, so it means there's less and less chance of us getting a specific engine swap, and it's a massive missed opportunity by them. So hopefully they do go back, they get that sorted and make them buyable sooner rather than later. That's going to be it from me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn the notifications on so you don't miss an upload from me. I upload GT7 content each and every day for your viewing pleasure, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a fantastic day. Take care, guys. Peace.